Hello everybody, welcome to a new channel I've set up, Antiques Chaser. This is the first video I'm putting out, so I don't know if anybody's actually going to watch this or not, but I thought I'd give it a try. I mean, I'll call myself a happy amateur, although I suppose I'm a semi-professional, because I've been buying selling antiques for over 10 years now. I used to have a sort of room size unit at a big antique centre when I first started. I downsized to a different place with just a cabinet, and now I've expanded to quite a decent sized wall unit that I've been selling on. So my way of doing it, I'm not one of these antique dealers with, like, £10,000 paintings and chairs and all that stuff. That doesn't sort of interest. I like buying and selling. And to buy and sell regular, you need sort of affordable type stuff. So I tend to sell things between like £20 and £100 is my sort of rough sort of guideline. And obviously, if you want to sell things and actually make money out of it, you've got to buy it at the right price. So I'm a guy. I like the auctions. There's a few local ones that I do, mostly online now. Charity shops and car boots, obviously, and occasionally Facebook Marketplace is a good place to go if you can find a nice piece that somebody, they're just had enough of or want to move on quickly, and you're getting quick. Then there's some bargains to be had on there. So I thought I'd set up a channel by showing you the type of things that I'm getting, where I'm getting them from. I'll talk about the pricing as well, what I'm buying and selling them for, and just see if there's any other like-minded people who want to sort of join in and create a sort of little community of happy amateurs here, and any professionals who want to come on, because I will be asking some questions, because sometimes you're researching things and you hit brick walls. And, it'd be nice if someone who actually knew what they were talking about got involved. So if you do get to the point where you like what I'm doing and you like to subscribe, please do. It'd be great to have you on board. This is the antique centre that I'm in at the moment. It's in a place called Penkridge in Staffordshire, in the UK, if you happen to be not in the UK. It was an old farm that a lovely couple, Jamie and Tina, bought, and they've turned it into an antique centre. The tea room that they've got in the picture there, absolutely fantastic. The food they can get out is superb. I'll take the family occasionally to go there for a meal, not just because I've got a unit there as well. And they do speciality days and that as well. So, go and check out their site if you'd like to. I mean, this is what it looks like. In the background, you can see it's like an industrial estate now, but it used to be all farmland for the farm, but obviously they sold that off, and they've sold the buildings to Tina and to Jamie, who've turned it into this. So they've got a unit there. Behind that, there's another two units with antiques in as well. That building's full of it. But as you watch the video, as you come across, you've got the tea room there. There's antiques up that stairs. There's antiques through that archway. And this silo, the grain store as they call it, as it was, is actually an antiques unit now. And I'm in there. Okay, I did actually take a video of me walking in and showing you around inside, but for some reason I've got home and the videos aren't there, so I did something wrong, although I took this video at the same time. So next time I go, next week or so, to restock, I'll take some proper videos so you just have a look around inside. Now I've got a little tiny claim to fame, because in the UK you'll probably know this series Antiques Road Trip, where they have two well-known antique dealers going around. They buy things and they sell them at auction. They've been a few times to the Southern's Antiques, but the last time they came, Isabelma bought one of my things. And as we're sitting here, the episode where she's actually selling it at auction and actually at the centre buying it hasn't been shown yet. So when that comes out, I will definitely show you that, and I'll talk about what she bought, what I paid for it, and we'll see, because I haven't got a clue, because they don't tell us. I'm going to have to watch the show myself to find out what she actually made on it, if anything. So we'll see. So that's quite exciting. So I'll put that in one of my episodes further down as well. So I'm going to give a shout out to the sort of business behind us, because Penkridge Woodcraft, absolutely fantastic. Let's have just a quick look. He's got a lot of stuff obviously in his unit where he keeps the best stuff in there. And, you know, he puts this stuff out. You can buy a bit of wood, offcuts he's not going to use. And he's actually making a Viking boat out of reclaimed timber. I mean, absolutely, what he can do with wood, man. I'm useless at all this stuff. You know, you can see the ghost is made behind the American flag there as well. And also, he's made a cart. I mean, I'd like him to age the wood a bit. It looks a bit too clean for my sort of taste, but the design of it, made a whole cart out of wood. Someone's going to use that, shop display, whatever. But I've got to say, that Viking longboat is my favourite thing at the moment. And this is the one video that did stay on my phone, and this is a sort of outside unit where they've got all weird and wonderful stuff. You know, you can get pallets, you can get trays, old metal. If you like old rusty metal and old tools, this is the place to come. The old buckets there, then they're sort of Victorian irons. We've got an old UK parking meter. Can turn that into something good. Some fierce looking saws, old signs, scales, and loads of things. You can just walk around, a bit of rust. And I like these door stops they've made at the bottom there, out of logs of wood with a bit of rope on them. And just nice, beautiful little things, aren't they? Simple things. I wish I could show you what we've got inside as well, because there's loads of good stuff in there, not just on my stall, but everybody else's. So, yeah, if you're in the area or want to come on, the M6 is a mile away from here. It's easy to get to. There's plenty of attractions nearby. So I'll stop doing the tourist guide thing now and have a look at showing you some of my latest purchases. Now, this was from an auction that I use. I work sort of about 30 miles away part-time, and this auction house is there, so when I go to work I can actually pick up things I bought at this auction. This is what I got last weekend, and I sort of saw it on the list, and the description said a large black plaster head. It didn't say who it is what, and my original thoughts was maybe it's a sort of poet from, you know, ages ago, Byron or somebody, I don't know. And when the auction was on, somebody bid £5 and then it stopped. So I did the next bid, which was £8. So I ended up with the commission paying like just over £10 for that. It weighs a lot. It's about, I don't know, 15 inches tall. And it's solid plaster, painted black. Now, it had a few, it didn't have any sort of big, huge chips out of it, but there were a few scuffs and marks on it, which I've sort of covered up. I haven't done them all because I didn't want it to look too pristine. I don't like things that are too pristine, you know what I mean? And see, I'm struggling to turn it around with one hand there, it's that heavy. But it's sort of well made, you know, there's a bit of effort gone into that, a bit of work. And then I do what we all do, antiques people, look at the bottom. So I checked out the bottom saying, please tell me who it is and when it was made. And I couldn't find out who it was, but I can see there, 7th of May 1969. So I thought, and it's wearing like a tie, a shirt and tie, and I'm thinking maybe it's some pop star from that time, but nothing jumps to mind. Doesn't look like Mick Jagger or someone, you know, one of the Beatles or whatever. It doesn't look like that. So if anybody's got any ideas who that is, please let me know. and then I'll add it to my description. But that's going into the antique centre tomorrow. Now I bought it for sort of around about 10 quid. I've decided you can put things like this on for like 150 and just see if someone's going to buy it. I don't think someone would buy it for that. I'm going to put it on around about sort of £45 mark, where I think that's something they'll think, oh, look at that, it's decorative, and I think that might go within a few weeks, but we shall see. So that's the sort of thing I'm doing. Okay, this one is, I've had this for a long time now, but I bought this on Facebook Marketplace. A local guy not far from me, and it was going for 10 quid, £10, and I thought, I'm going to get that. I mean, these Chinese are so brilliant with their sort of making the fakes. And I was in China this time last year, and I saw some brilliant things over there that they'd actually made probably the week before. But they know how to make metal, wood, anything look old, so you've got to be careful. So I bought that thinking it's worth a risk for £10. And then I've seen this one in the off eBay, someone selling pretty much the same model without the lid for 90 quid. I don't think he's going to get 90 quid for them without the lid, but good luck for them. But he's put mid-20th century up there, so it's sort of convincing me that maybe it's not as old as I thought it was. But it's solid pewter, it's heavy, and those glass covered panels with the paintings underneath, I mean, they haven't got the artist's signature on them, which sort of makes you twitch a little bit, thinking, is it real? See, that doesn't look quite old to me. It's made to look old, maybe. And on the bottom it's got a marking that looks too modern. And if you can read Chinese, please tell me it says original 18th century pewter teapot. So I don't think, I'm convinced now it's not as old as I thought it was. But they've done a fantastic job. Looks ancient, but maybe not quite ancient enough. So I bought that for £10, and I'm going to put that in the antique centre. I think I'm going to go with £40 for that, just to see where it goes. And I hope someone goes to check it on eBay, with a Google, I forgot what it's called now, where you put the picture on it, searches for it. I hope they find that, because that's the first thing that came up. And then go, oh, that's one's 40 quid and it's got the top, half price. So hopefully that might be a quick sale, but we'll see. This one, again, is another Facebook Marketplace purchase. And again, it was £10, funnily enough. And I just thought it was interesting because it's on a thick wood base. And the ones I've got above me, I've seen loads of these type of things, with Napoleonic Wars plastic things. But that's got, it's more live. It's got a liveness to it. And I went round there to get it, like straight away. I said, I'll come and fetch it now because I thought some people are going to be after that. And the guy told me he made it himself. And they are plastic. I was hoping they were metal, but that's pushing it too much for a 10 quid purchase. But how he's put it together, and I like the way he's used cotton wool to look like it's actually firing. It sort of brought it to life a bit. And, it's all made, there's snipers hiding behind the rocks and that type of thing. He just put it together, absolutely fantastic. And he even cut that piece of wood himself to put it on. So it took some time. I'm surprised he let it go for 10 quid. I mean, the amount of time that must have took. But he says he's thinking of making some more. So he says when you get bored of them, keep in touch. But even from the back, it works. But it's a homemade piece. So you can't sort of attribute it to a name or a brand or something like these ones above me can. So it cost me £10. So I'm going to put it on. I think I'm going to go for like £25 just for a quick sale. I mean, someone who's not particularly collecting Napoleonic War things, it's still a nice thing to me. So I'm hoping that might be a quick sale. So we'll do like that. Now, the Chinese soapstone things, I got this from an auction, And because you usually see them sort of in mono colours like the one above me, and a lot of them try to look like fake jade, you know what I mean, or jadeite or whatever, but they're soapstone, which is easy to carve. I mean, it takes the amount of skill for the old ones to have carved that, the time it must have took. I've got a feeling that these ones we see mostly now are obviously done on a machine or a laser thing or something, you know what I mean? But this one, I just liked it because it had different colours to it. It's got texture to it. In the back, someone's took the time to make it look textured. It could be done on a machine. It has got a wooden base, which you don't often see, a flat wooden base. And it's got, that looks like gold. Could have been lettering at some stage. Or maybe someone's put it on top of some gold paint and it's just a blob. I don't know what that means at all. But I just like the look of it. And it's something, when you've seen soapstone things in every ant, and you see something you haven't seen before, you think, let's give it a go. Now, I did end up paying £18 for that, which is quite a lot for a dealer to buy a soapstone thing, but it's got some proper weight to it. It's a beautiful thing. I wish I knew what it meant. It's probably some god of something, you know what I mean, but I can't find it anywhere. So I'm going to put that on. I'm not going to make a huge amount of that. I'm going to put it on. I think I'm going to try for £30 to go there, but I've got a feeling I'm probably going to have to drop it at 25 or maybe 22 to get a sale. So that's not going to be one that's going to make me rich, but I think I'll turn a little profit on it. And it's been nice to have it in the house for a couple of weeks. I think I'll miss that. You'll get to the point, I don't know if you guys sort of collect, sell, whatever, but there are pieces sometimes you don't want to sell them, do you? I've got something that I might do a sort of episode on what I bought that I don't want to sell now. So, no, I'm not a professional dealer by any means. Now, this was a good one. Again, it was from the same auction as the black plaster bust. And again, someone bid £5. I thought, well, £8. I thought we'd go to about £20-30. Nobody else bid. So again, I got this, a sort of arts and crafts solid oak fire screen for just over £10. And it's a thing of beauty. I mean, it's not perfect. And it was covered in paint splashes when I've got it. So I cleaned most of them off, but I haven't got them all off. I don't like things to look perfect. But look at the sort of carving they've done on that, and the background to the flowers, the time it's took to do that, proper artisan stuff. And I like to leave a bit of dust on things as well, because, you know, they've collected that dust over time. And it's not my job, my place to clean it off. I don't know if that's a repair or part of the original design. Because it was made in 2 parts, so I'm wondering if that was just a thing to join it together. And you see, it's had a life on the back of it. Got that sort of bit missing at the top there. I mean, it doesn't bother me, it just gives it a bit of beauty. And it's got these holes on it, so something must have been attached on the back. And I'm just wondering, maybe it was a sort of metal or something, because obviously wooden, a fire screen, you don't want it too close. You're going to set the house on fire. So I'm just wondering if at some stage it had something metal on the back. But £10 purchase for that, and that one, that one's a bit boring to me. I like the flowers and the design on that. That's a bit geometric and more sort of Art Deco-ish type thing, which I do like, but not on a fire screen. It needs to be that. And the legs, surely the heat would come out? I don't know. So £195 for that. I got that for a tenner. I'm going to put that on for about, I think, £35. Some of you might be saying, no, it's worth money. But it's who needs antique wooden fire screen these days? I know, in the UK we have still got loads of people with open fires, but I don't think you'd put a wooden fire screen there, you know what I mean? So it's a decorative, beautiful object from the past, it's proper antique. And I think around about £35, that'll go quickly. So that's why I'm selling it. Now, little quiz, I'll give you 10 seconds to guess what that is in there. Because when I first saw it, I thought that looks like a clock case to me, carriage clock case, and I got a bit excited because I thought if it's a tapering thing like that, it's going to have an interesting clock inside of it. But then when I looked at other pictures on the website, website for the auction, which I got it from, it's actually being sold as a portable communion set. Now, I sort of get that, I was brought up Catholic, so I know what communion is, and those of you who aren't, it's when they give you a wafer in church. They give you a wafer, they call it the body of Christ, and then the priest drinks the wine, the blood of Christ. He gets the wine. But you put them in the chalice, the body of Christ wafers in the chalice, and you hold the tray under someone's when you're giving it to them so it doesn't drop. Obviously, it's the body of Christ. You don't want it dropping on the floor if someone slips out. So this communion set's got a beaker and a chalice. They're not solid silver, they're silver plated, double-ended. So I'm sort of twitching over whether that is actually a communion set. And the box, I love this type of box because it's in perfect working order, but it looks old. It's been used. And in case you're wondering how they fit in there, the chalice goes inside the beaker, and it's fitted perfectly. So I needed 2 hands to get it in there. I was still going to try it with one hand, but I had the phone in the other hand, so I couldn't do it with one hand. But it goes in and it ends up perfectly closed like that with 2 clasps. So it is a nice thing. Because it was advertised as a communion set, I paid more than I would normally pay. So I ended up paying, it was £18 plus commission, so it's like just over £20 I paid for that. I'm going to put it on. I think it's going to be another one like the soapstone thing, just a quick turnover with a little bit of profit. I'm going to put it on for about 35, I think, because I'm not convinced it's a communion set. But when you Google it, it actually comes up as communion set. So Google thinks it's a communion set, which is probably why the auction house put that. But I've got a feeling it's not. And that's another thing. If you know, please drop me a little message so you can increase my knowledge, and hopefully one time I'll show you something you don't know, maybe. Okay, that would be nice. Now this box, it was I saw it in another antique centre and it was reduced to £8. And I thought, what a nice little box for £8. So I'm trying to do it one-handed, but it's got a little drawer at the bottom. And my original thought was it was obviously to advertise seeds, what seed merchant it's got on it. And as you can see by the hinges, again, it's a bit beaten, but I have touched that up a little bit in places, especially on the edges of the top where the paint had just gone. So I've just sort of done a little bit of restoration. But the lid comes up and it's got a top. So it could be used as a nice little trinket box now, something different. And I've tried to research the White and Ridsdale Co. I can't find them. So I just think it's a design somebody made up and put on things. The only other thing I found is that bargeware jug. So, and the cost of it proves it's not like a proper company advertising antique. So I'm just selling it as a sort of decorated trinket box. And I put that in, went up to the centre yesterday and I put that up for £15. So, it's, again, nice little turnover, and hopefully somebody can put it to good use. But I thought £8 is a bit of a bargain, so I'm going to move it on through my centre, hopefully. So that's all I'm going to show for today. I've got a few other things, but first video, I don't want to make it like 2 hours long and bore you all to tears. So if you like what you've seen, a nice like or comment, or share it, subscribe it, whatever. But I will be putting quite regular ones up because obviously I'm aiming for fast turnover, so I'm buying and selling stuff regularly. So I'm hoping to make this at least maybe a weekly show. I've already got some things to show, so I might put up another one in a couple of days. So thanks for watching this far if you have, and I look forward to talking to you in the near future.